wife. Anything that happened before or after? Just waiting.
Hello and welcome everybody to the SFRGT Challenge here at Circuit of the Americas. I'm Mike Nause in the booth tonight. It is going to be a lovely one out there as we have quite a few drivers on the grid tonight, 18 in total. Looking at the pole position times, we are in qualifying, might I add. I'm a little bit late. Apologies everybody for that. We're about halfway through qualifying right now. We'll be jumping into it though in a little bit. You can see these drivers heading back in and out of the pits to get their setup changes and trying to contend for that pole position currently held by Jace Wright. But nonetheless, once again, welcome along everyone. I hope everyone's having a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. We are here at the Circuit of the Americas, a 3.4-mile track founded back in 2012, so a very recent track in terms of when it was constructed, especially as a permanent racetrack, with about a little bit of elevation, 30 meters, most of that happening on the start-finish straight as they begin their ascend up towards Big Red, the big left-hand blind apex that you're going to be taking there. All these drivers heading into the first corner on lap 1. It will be very tight margins indeed. Coda always brings that to the table as well. We have 20 corners here, a lot of corners for a track. Not too many have that. 20 though. 11 to the left, 9 to the right, so fairly even in terms of tire wear, especially through that Sector 1. The S's, one of the most famous corner complexes. You can see, I'll bring up the track map there. You can see on the right-hand side, currently, Santiago Venegas negotiated them very well. Actually, I take that back, invalidated through them. Very common thing to do here at Coda. Track limits are going to be a massive battle for these drivers, as some of these corners are very easy to hit that track limit boundary, even though you maybe think you didn't. I know that's a lot of the, especially a few corners in the middle of the track. I think that actually the one that we're coming up, no, the 28 car is coming up to currently, is a very heavy invalidation sector, and as well as just this track in general. Tough to put one together. But as we have it, Vinicius Duzzi currently on pole position, just taking that. Going to be topping the time charts at a 2:06.1 behind the wheel of the Ferrari 296 Spirit Onyx team. SOT driver here, the 12-year-old driver out on track and on pole position. Jace Wright, the controller king, is behind him, as well as behind another driver currently stuck in a bit of traffic, but on an invalid lap anyways, so isn't the biggest deal. He doesn't want to force that driver to invalidate and get into a spicy situation. Just want to roll with the punches and try to make that next lap happen. He'll have about 2 more attempts before that checkered flag falls, and we head on into the main session. But for now, Marco Saldana going to be P8. Nicely done. Devin Anthony behind as well. Devin Small Block Anthony in the Rockefeller Racing McLaren, currently 9th position. With Todd Tillery behind. Todd Tillery on an invalid lap as well. I'm seeing a lot of red sector times here, and it really is just one of those tracks. You got to be careful. Getting a banker on the board could be the difference between starting at the back of the grid and starting about halfway through. Very, very important here tonight for these drivers to actually land that. Also, there's music playing. Sorry about that. Didn't realize that. That was probably a bit intrusive at the intro, huh? My apologies, everyone. As these drivers going to be getting their final times in. Any driver that returns to the pit at this stage will no longer be able to make it out in time. It's 2:06 lap times. We are down to the penultimate lap for these drivers, as they are negotiating the curves currently through the S's here into Sector 2. You can see the hesitation there on the throttle. Doozy, though, so far, so good. About even with the Delta, catching up to Jace Wright, though. Hopefully that isn't too much of an issue. Jace is on a invalid lap, actually, and off into the gravel. You can see a bit of oversteer, and that's Vinicius' lap done as well. Invalidation for Vinicius, and he will not be able to make it around in time for a lap. Neither will Jace Wright, in fact. Jace is actually just on a bit of a parade lap here, practicing his pit entries, I hope. Rocky Rocco, though, he's going to be on his penultimate lap, heading to his final one as he comes around the final corner here, turn 20, onto the start-finish straight to begin the ascent, but coming across the line, it's going to be P5 for the Rockefeller Racing 296. Nice job from Rocky Rocco from Rockefeller Racing. DeMarcus Rogers with a very respectable result as well, up into P7, the number 47 DIR black and gold McLaren, befitting a champion, of course. I'm seeing so many invalid laps right now. Jace Wright, Daniel Madrano, Marco Saldana, Patrick Dubois, Justin Gottlieb, Jelson Cruz. There's a lot of invalid laps currently. A lot of them ended up just returning to the pits, but Rocky Rocco and DeMarcus Rogers are both going to have another shot. This is their final attempt of getting a lap together. There's a few drivers behind them as well. Number 92 of Alex Ishii in the Kelly Moss with Riley Porsche. You can see as he comes to the end of the S sector, moving through Sector 2 now into some of the trickier corners. We saw an invalidation from Vinicius earlier. Alex taking a bit more conservative in terms of how wide he goes on the track. Rocky Rocco is still valid. I know the other driver did invalidate. Nice exit from Alex Ishii. He's actually going to be climbing the times right now from his previous lap. Managed to hook this one up onto the straight. The Porsche going to be using all of its legs here as it approaches top speed up into the 280s. You can see down onto the braking now as he approaches the curb. Bit deep, but a very safe line. He still doesn't gain from that, actually. Stays even. Nice through the horseshoe as we head to the triple apex here. This is going to be a triple apex right-hander. It's a very tough one to navigate through. You can see as he gets as far left onto the side of the track as he feels comfortable. And now it's going to be just a bit of a roller coaster, coasting through there. Nice, onto the throttle, picks it back up, heading now into the penultimate corner. Attacks the curb aggressively. You can see he turned into that way too early, Alex Ishii, and that cost him big time on his lap. Does that affect Anthony Macho Camacho? No, it does not. Anthony, going to be the final one to the line here tonight. What is it going to be for the time as he comes to the line? It's a 1 second gain, P9. Nicely done from Anthony Macho Man Camacho. And some support for Doozy in chat and Rockefeller Racing saying hello to me as well. Hello, Rockefeller Racing. I know that was before the stream, but still. Look at the Doozy support. Everybody loving Vinicius out there. Love to see it. And that is going to be the end of the qualifying session here as we head now into our 60-minute race tonight. The format is going to be a 1 mandatory pit stop with refuel only, so 1 liter minimum, and it is going to have a 20-minute pit window as well. I'm not sure what that time is for the pit window, but there will be... Oh, pit window opens 20 minutes into the race and will stay open for 20 minutes. So you will be able to pit around that halfway point where the drivers optimally would like to. I don't know if we'll see tires or not. It's interesting. A 1-hour race is kind of that crossover point where you may decide that tires are a good option, but a lot of drivers might just opt out of that. It's 5 seconds that you can get. Oh, 5 seconds. Wait a second. No, it's not 25-second fixed. Nah, drivers probably ain't going to be taking tires now that I think about it. We're just probably going to be running the sets to the end. We'll see. We'll see, though, if the strategy does change. When the pit time comes around, we will most certainly find out. Of course, the driver is going to be wanting to spend as little time as they can in the pit lane. Pit lane at COTA is relatively long compared to some of the other tracks out there. It's going to have about 64 seconds stationary if you do decide to take tires, compared to 37 seconds if you just go for that 1 liter refuel. So you're saving roughly just under 30 seconds. And I do not think that you can make that up even in a 60-minute race, to be honest. That's a bit of a stretch. So I do predict that we will see these drivers sticking it out on 1 set of rubber all the way to the end. Will be a nice skill test for them. As we have it, though, while we wait, I know I had the music playing earlier. Why don't we get a little tunes playing? Why not? Turn it down. It was very loud. As we wait for the session to change over, of course. This music is going to be brought to you by Chris Laronde on SoundCloud, if you guys are curious. Very nice tunes. Nice lo-fi beats, as well as some other off music. Not off, but also all owned by him, but of course, permission from him himself. So thank you for that. As we have it, though, we're going to need to be getting into some tunes that everybody here was waiting for. It's the funky beats that everyone knows and loves so, so well. As we have it here, starting in P1. It's going to be the 12-year-old driver, Vinicius Duzzi, the number 25 Ferrari 296. Lined up next to him, Santiago Venegas in the number 28 296 Ethereum Esports. The Colombian driver going to be testing Vinicius here, the SOT, at the start. Jace Wright, the controller king in the Lamborghini Fuchsia Competition Esports, going to be coming at him like a charging bull here at the start. Very fitting for the Lambo, of course. Daniel Madrano as well, going to be lined up next to him. It's a nice Noah's Ark front row and second row. Behind him, of course, Rocky Rocco from Rockefeller Racing in the Ferrari 296. Again, lots of 296s, lots of McLarens on the grid. Joey Raymer, going to be the first of the McLarens. The McLaren's not with the greatest showing here tonight. Raymer in the Nameless Racing, going to be taking the front of those seats, but P6 is all it's going to be, with Todd Tillery as company next to him, P7, and DeMarcus Rogers in the next McLaren in 8th. The number 47 DIR Racing. Next to him, Anthony Macho Man Camacho. The number 14 Audi S&B Racing. Going to be just inside of the top 10, and rounding out our top 10 will be Colin Sugg in the Slug Racing. In the AMG, I think the lone AMG out there tonight. Marco Saldana will be in P11, the McLaren in the 111. How fitting, 111 in P11. Devin Small Block Anthony, 12th fastest, the 664 driver. Going to be trying to make up some positions here at the start. With Alex Ishii behind, though, will be quite the ask. The Kelly Moss with Riley, number 92. Incredible livery. I love the Porsche livery with that man on the front. I don't know. Is it Buddha? I don't know. I don't want to say that. Patrick Dubois is going to be in P14, the number 87 Rockefeller Racing Lamborghini, the Canadian. A bit further behind than I would expect from him. Justin Gottlieb in P15 with Jelson Cruz Company in 16th in the Rockefeller Racing 992. Jay Davis, who's going to be just entering the S's now, in the Nameless Racing BMW in P17. Michael Gravelle in P18. And last but not least is going to be Fikri Azka. The drivers here got a quite long outlap ahead of them. 3.4 miles with 20 corners. Plenty of them to get some heat into the tires. And welcome, everybody. Welcome. I hope you guys are having a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you guys are in this fine world. Welcome all of the Brazilians out there as well. As well, I see we have Naro in chat. Welcome, as well as Leko. We have Fairfon. Apologies on the mispronunciations there. As well as Marcus Soros. Lots of Doozy support, as well as Dane Doozy. Dane Doozy? Apologies. Once again, I do greatly apologize for the mispronunciation. And Nato asking, how am I doing tonight? I'm doing great myself, Nato. Ready for some extremely exciting racing with these 19 drivers on the grid at Circuit of the Americas. One of my favorite tracks, but I gotta say, one thing I do know about this track, especially in ACC, it's not the most loved in the community. Now, personally, like I say, do not share that sentiment whatsoever. I love this track. I do understand the hate, though. A lot of the hate comes from the track limits. It's a very easy track to invalidate, especially through the corners. Actually, if we hop on board here, this is going to be one of those corners that the drivers are going to be invalidating a lot on. It's so easy to cut that inside curb as well as run wide onto the outside. There's so many ways on this track, 20 corners in which you can invalidate, and all of them are very reasonable to do so. So drive-through penalties going to be a big thing tonight. Obviously, the drivers wanting to avoid them. If they do pick up a drive-through, it will cost them about 29 seconds coming through the pit lane, assuming they can nail their stop. Their entry, excuse me, not their stop. They wouldn't be stopping. As we have it, though, the drivers lining up 2x2, Noah's Ark formation. Vinicius Doozy on pole position here in the Spirit Onyx Racing team. Up next to him is going to be Santiago Venegas, excuse me. Jace Wright going to be behind. I'm Mike Nause in the booth as we get ready to go green, heading up towards Big Red. 19 cars on the grid. And we're going to be green any moment now. As we approach the line. And we're green as we head now to the first corner. It's going to be a great start for the Audi in the background. You can see him making moves up at the front, not much changing, at least at the start. You can see the Rockefeller Racing under pressure from his teammate behind. Ooh, 4 wide through the first corner. Nicely done for all of them. I think a little bit of bumping and banging, but everybody managing to navigate so far. We see Devin Smallblock Anthony getting by Anthony Macho Camacho, as well as Marco Saldana behind. Marco getting very eager, though, and trying to stick his nose into a couple places that's very optimistic through the S's, it must be said. So far, though, everybody green. I say that, and we see Colin Sugg. And who else involved? I'm not sure. The 34 car, very unfortunately, though, going to be off, parked on the side there. We saw Devin Anthony get a nice move done as Alex Ishii is falling behind, as well as Jelson Cruz getting by. What is happening to Alex Ishii? He's going extremely slow here tonight. Is there damage picked up for the number 92 driver? I'm not sure there is. Up at the front, though, battle for pole position. Ethereum Esports, as well as SOT. And Jace Wright to boot. Chase Wright going to be crawling all over the back of that diffuser, trying to make any which way he can in terms of overtakes. Currently, though, Santiago Venegas trailing Vinicius Duzzi. Vinicius got a calm head on his shoulders for only being 12 years old. I've got to give credit where credit's due. Not a lot of people can lead a race. It's a very tricky thing to do, to be honest. Setting the pace for the rest of the drivers is very tough. Santiago Venegas wants nothing more but to be in front of him, and so do all 19 drivers behind. But currently Vinicius, he's got a clear sky ahead of him. Nobody to dictate his pace or give him a slipstream. He's all on his own so far, though. Like I say, doing it with flying colors, as he ran a little bit awkwardly into the first corner, but managing to keep it all together. Nicely done for the current pole sitter and our current leader, Vinicius Duzzi. DeMarcus Rogers, I think, just lost a position to Joey Raymer according to the timing sheets, but I'm not sure that's true. Actually, DeMarcus with an invalidation this lap. I think he did end up going off track, exploring a little bit, and having to give up a position now that I think about it. But Patrick Dubois, excuse me. I won't make that mistake too many more times, hopefully. Chasing down Alex Ishii. Alex Ishii had a very poor start to this race. Actually is even where they started. Alex must have had a smashing start, but ended up getting swamped at the beginning. I'm not sure if how he gained so many positions and we saw him lose so many, but nonetheless, he's back to his starting position in P13. Patrick here might be relinquished from this 14th position if Justin has anything to say about it. And I think he does. Maybe a bit too far back, tucking out of that slipstream early. That will hurt him. You can see it. Up ahead, Patrick. Oh my goodness! That's not going to happen. Oh man, and we're going to be 3 wide actually, rejoining as Fikri and Jay side by side as well through the apex. Fikri a little bit deep there. That could give the opportunity to Jay, but he's not quite ready for it. Huge send for the LFM for all Justin Gottlieb there. Missing his braking marker by a little bit. Devin Anthony here, as well as Anthony Camacho, trading places. Anthony gets the position back to which he gave earlier. Anthony, oh my goodness, that's why I'm confused. Anthony Camacho and Devin Anthony, okay. I was wondering why I was repeating myself. Turns out I was. Nonetheless, Jelson Cruz has something to say about that and put a nice little gap between the two Anthonys, of course, surname and first name. But Jelson here trying to follow his teammate through the field and doing a great job of it so far. They're up 2 positions, or Devin is up 2 positions. Jelson's up 5. Looking very good here tonight. So far, though, gaps already forming. It's a bit surprising. I would have expected these drivers up at the front to be going at it a little bit more, but hey, Vinicius is pulling away 3 seconds to Santiago Venegas. That is something to be said. Here we go as well. Patrick Dubois, big send onto the inside. Alex Ishii, does he have a response? Was that interesting? Patrick there, did he clip that inside curb? That's my assumption. We're going to rejoin with Patrick behind. Let's go and watch the replay of this from a different angle here. We can see, nice send, lovely. Oh, he's deep. Never mind. Bad camera angle at first there. He's just deep. He overshot his braking zone, Patrick. Just had to get onto the brakes about a meter or 2 earlier, and he would have been fine. Unfortunately now, he is going to be ahead of these two, Fikri and Justin. Justin, nicely done through the really awkward corner complex. It's a horseshoe, a very miniaturized horseshoe. through turn 15 into the sweeper of turn 16, the triple apex. And I know some people that are maybe newer to racing, wondering what a triple apex is. Well, I tell you what, when we hop on board, or why don't we do an onboard? In fact, that's a great idea. Let's go on board with Devin Smallblock Anthony. See, it's in the first corner. He's right behind Marco Soldano. You can hear that traction control kicking in. He's up on TC4, which is relatively high for the McLaren. Jelson Cruz trailing behind as well. Tilts it in to the first few S's. You can see very deep goes Marco. He's off the pace here through Sector 1 into Sector 2, and he's way deep as well onto the exit. This could give Devin Anthony an opportunity as he goes for the switchback. It's going to turn, though, to the outside once again, and he isn't going to be able to get it done. He tucks it. Oh, big snap there. If he was able to get a smooth exit, he could have maybe carried the speed, which is exactly what Jelson Cruz is about to do, and make a lovely overtake on his teammate, which I do not think he will fight that hard. Jelson, though, is deep, and he catches the curb onto the inside, hits his teammate, and there is a pile up on the track. You cannot park there, sir. My goodness, Devin Anthony, with a slight misjudgment, has costed him massive. Let's see that again. So he catches that curb, enough midair time there to be served snacks on that flight. Unfortunately, rule number 1 of racing is do not hit your teammate. Devin, not following that. Justin Gottlieb, as well as Devin Anthony, now having a scrap. Devin Smallblock Anthony falling off the pace here early on. I gotta say, he's down 2 positions from that incident, and that damage could really affect him later on. Although Willett, you can see, he's eager. Lovely look onto Justin with a nice fake into ascend. He doesn't get it done. Could have been very risky. That's one of those moves that can make you look like a hero or it can make you look like an absolute fool. This time around, neither is the case for Devin. He just, well, it looked kind of cool. We also have a 3-way fight here for P5. Joey Raymer, DeMarcus Rogers, and Rocky Rocco from Rockefeller Racing all having a nice bout. Rocky just lost a position from DeMarcus Rogers. Joey Raymer is holding on by a thread. DeMarcus trying to go for the in and out, the switchback maneuver. Maybe get something done. A little bit of a wiggle on exit, though. That's going to hinder his charge, and he will have to look back, maybe behind him at Rocky, and see if that bright yellow and pink Rockefeller Racing 296 is going to be coming up alongside him anytime soon. Bit further up, we have a podium scrap. Daniel Madrano and Jace Wright. Side by side, heading down the back straight. Oh, bump into the corner, and Daniel is round. Jace Wright does manage to get the better end of that, fortunately for him. But let's watch this again. Coming into turn 12 here. Should have went for a different camera angle, as that was kind of hard to see from that one, but I'm not sure. Stewards will most certainly be having a look at that one. Jace holds the podium for now. And lots of support in chat here for Vinicius as well. I love to see it. Vinicius, the 12-year-old driver, incredible, incredible. Wait. Yeah. And Trangisi, Albert in chat. How's it going, Albert? On vacation this time around. Is going to be joining us, of course, for the next week, but this time around, taking his drop round. There will be one drop round in the championship. Devin Anthony. What has happened here? Justin Gottlieb Looks like he's had a big one on the side of the track here. Is struggling to rejoin. We'll check back in with him a little bit later and see how he does. Not looking good, though, for the number 36 Lamborghini this time around. Circuit of the Americas, maybe one to forget. But can always look forward to next week. Of course, next week being another 60-minute race over at Valencia. If you guys are interested in joining that race or this championship, which I have not talked about yet, which I should probably do. Of course, this championship brought to you by SFRGT Challenge. You can find it in the description over a link to SimGrid. And at that SimGrid, you can find the Friday Night PC Season 3. That is what we are racing here tonight. Our current championship leader is Albert Tranghisi, the man in chat right now. 128 points to his name. Jace Wright, though, close behind and currently on a podium charge. Jace going to be looking to put on a big one here tonight. Albert back in the on vacation. Maybe hoping for that incident earlier to be a bit worse than it was. Nonetheless, he carries on. And Joey Raymer, excuse me, as well in P3 at 123 points, 1 point behind Jace Wright. Bit of a gap to Leonardo Silva as he missed round 1 and 2 and 3 actually. So joining the championship late, what that basically shows there is that it is never too late to join this championship. And what is on the line for this championship? Well, what is on the line is a $100 USD cash prize to the winner, and all podium finishers receive a full sponsorship or a sponsored Coach Dave Academy bundle, the CDA's top-notch bundle setup. So if that sounds interesting to you guys, make sure you head on over to the SFRGT Challenge SimGrid, find the Friday Night PC Season 3, and go and sign up for that. Oh, that's right, Trango. I remember you messaging me saying you were on vacation and we're going to try driving with a controller. Yeah, unfortunate we don't see you out there, but hey, I hope you're having a great time down there in the Dominican Republic. Assuming you're maybe visiting some family down there, or are you just down there on vacation in general? Anthony Camacho is seemingly off the pace here, I gotta say. He's going a bit out of shape through some of these corners, and that's really hindering both Fikri and Devin Anthony here. Devin in the Rockefeller Racing McLaren, they're 664. Did I ever turn that music off? I did. Okay, thank goodness. That is a dangerous thing to have without me knowing. Sorry, everyone. Jelson Cruz with a send as well. Jelson not going to make it happen just yet, but into turn 15, I think he is going to make it stick. Switchback, though, coming back around into the triple apex corner. We can see, I know I said earlier, we're going to ride on board to the triple apex. So, what does a triple apex corner look like? Well, we're about to see them basically make one turn, but the nature there is you can see 1, 2, 3, and that third one is a very long and arduous one to get the power down onto. Oh, Anthony is wide. They're both Anthony's. Anthony Camacho is wide. Devin Anthony is through. Rockefeller Racing of Jelson Cruz trying to come up behind. Not able to happen just yet. Fikri as well trying to claim something out of this, but so far not able to get any rags out of the riches. Or any riches out of the rags, whatever. Same difference. Big send. Rockefeller Racing Porsche sends Anthony Camacho wide. Anthony was keeping an eye on his mirror there and allowing himself to not be taken out. Great driving there from the Audi. Though that does mean that Jelson Cruz takes the position. And Fikri Azka behind, basically just saying, man, when am I going to have some action? Fikri just not able to find the gap just yet. Anthony Camacho and Jelson Cruz really doing a good job of keeping their gaps closed to Fikri in particular. They are trading back and forth throughout this race so far between each other, but that is just reserved for the two of them apparently. I guess Azka was not invited. Azka, gonna have to make an invitation of their own, it sounds. As well, you can see off onto the left-hand side of the screen a number 1 next to all your favorite drivers' names. Well, what does that mean? That means that these drivers have to make one mandatory pit stop. Here we go. Hold that thought. Azka making gains and making a position and a very opportunistic send, but definitely both drivers remaining on track. I would call it a very fair overtake. Azka wasn't invited to that party, but he kicks the door down and says, I am here and in my Kool-Aid costume. Let's see if he can do the same to Jelson in front. But what does that one mean? That one, it means that they need to make a pit stop, basically. It's one mandatory pit stop. It means they have to come in and take 1 liter of fuel here in this race. No tires required, and I don't think any drivers will be, though there is a pit window. That is the difference here tonight. So, of course, at the 20-minute mark, or in 20 minutes into the race, which we are approaching, 2 minutes and 22 seconds away from that, in fact, we will be seeing some drivers start to come into the pits. They do need to take, well, like I said, 1 liter of fuel. That is it. Nice podium scrap here as well. We got a 3-way fight that's actually just developed. Not sure if Venegas is off the pace. Maybe went off the track. He seems to be valid. The tire life becoming an issue here. 20 minutes in, I find that unlikely. Although, hopping on board here with the Rockefeller Racing Lamborghini, one thing I'm noticing is Jace Wright seems quicker in a straight line. Under braking, though, Daniel much more confident. One thing, anyone curious, Jace Wright is on a controller. He's driving on a gamepad currently. So if you are thinking that driving on a gamepad is stopping you from sim racing, well, do not let it, because, like I say, Jace Wright can hop on board here and see that he's on a controller. There's pretty quick evidence of that one. Any wrist movement like that in real life would result in a certain dislocation. The Colombian driver, though, definitely under threat here from the American. So they come across the line to complete lap 9 here. Our leader is long gone, by the way. Vinicius has checked out and is on his way currently to Valencia. Actually, he's driving there. He thought it would be quicker than flying. At least for him, it is. Vinicius, though, incredible pace. 18.4 seconds ahead of this battle. And he is 12 years old, everybody. So if age is a concern, if you're thinking that your kids maybe aren't going to get interested in sim racing, well, like I say, don't let that stop them either, because Vinicius, 12 years old. Yeah. As Nato says in chat, Doozy is amazing. I believe you. I've seen 4 races. No, I haven't. I've seen 2 races from him so far, as he joined the season late. And I am beyond impressed at not just his pace, as you get some of those drivers out there. When you have some the younger drivers that are a bit quicker, they're known as what is called, a hot lapper. That you do not see with Vinicius. Vinicius has incredible side-by-side racing skills. We saw that last week. Able to control his car better than, I would say, the top 5% of this game. I would say, easily the top 5% of this game, if not even top 5% of the world. Just amazing stuff to be seen here from a driver that is so young and has such a long future and career ahead of them in this. He comes across the line, 2:06.4 this time around. Quickest lap is by Vinicius at a 2:05.8. Pit window's open. So far, no one in. Although I think it opened this lap, so this will be the lap that we see the drivers come in, and there's already, we will need to see a driver come into the pits within the next 3 laps, but not for his stop. Patrick Dubois does pick up a drive-through penalty. Exploring track limits one too many times here tonight. That will get you on the naughty list of the stewards. And Patrick finds himself there tonight. Does opt to come in this lap and serve. Oh no! Patrick! You gotta brake, buddy! Oh, and he takes the pit board out too! Oh no! This is gonna cause chaos for other people. We're gonna go on board here with... Oh no. Patrick, I hope you're not watching this back. Oh, this is why, everybody. I say this a million times. I say this, I think, every single stream at least once or twice. Practice your pit entries. Everybody, practice your pit entries. It's so important. You need to do at least 5 pit entries before the race just to get yourself acquainted. You can gain so much time in the pits. You can gain maybe a second, assuming the drivers behind are being a little bit more conservative into the pits. The one issue is you can lose, 30 seconds, which we're going to see right there. In fact, probably more than 30 seconds will be lost from that. Just as a result of, well, call it as I see it, lack thereof practice. Dubois does not come out in last somehow. That's interesting. Fikri here, battling with Jelson. The Polish driver so far not able to dispatch the number 7, as this is the worst camera angle of... I mean, it's alright, I guess. It's okay. It's a good... You know what? That's a pretty good camera angle. Anyways. Bit harsh on the cameramen. It's not like this is Brands Hatch. Daniel Madrano will be an interesting call to see if he does stop for... or does stop before Jace Wright. Go for that undercut. It shouldn't matter too much here tonight, the undercut, as Anthony Camacho took tires? Oh, that is why Patrick is not in last place. Yeah, that'd do it. Interesting. I would not have expected tires to be taken here. And Patrick, did he stop? Patrick didn't stop. Did he take his... Oh, he had the drive-through penalty. That's right. Yeah. Obviously. Come on, streamer. Uh-oh. Marco Saldana is into the barrier. Well, I assume he's going to be coming into the pits this lap. Oh, my goodness. All right, we're all good. Nothing happened, everybody. That was close. So we're just going to see a McLaren go for an on-the-grass spin there, trying to take their Joker lap a little bit too early. But this here, we're about to go into reverse, and wow, I bet that Porsche puckered. That was close. Luckily, everybody is still alive here tonight. And we are green, green, green. Dana Madrano chasing down Jace Wright for a podium position here. And Vinicius Doozy leading us by 23 seconds. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Marco Saldana and Devin Anthony looked to have had it coming together. Marco Saldana was very far behind here. Does he miss a braking zone as he came into Devin Anthony? How does this happen? Oh, Devin Anthony is all over the place. And Marco just drives straight into Devin there. As that was on corner exit, it's pretty tough to see. Devin just rejoining the track. Devin, small block Anthony. A race to forget tonight. Popping on board, though, with this Lamborghini. Oh! He's late. Oh. Interesting. Just on an alternate... Well, he was late. He was most certainly late, but still. Lovely slipstream. Had a much better exit than Jace. Jace had a wiggle onto the straight here. Gonna have the inside line. Jace doesn't fight this. Is he just gonna let this one go? He goes late onto the brakes. He's confident that he can hold the position on the racing line. He isn't able to just yet, but no. Jace with a 3... No, not... Never mind. Jace not with a 300 IQ play. Jace, unfortunately, just with a lack of defense. And, well, Daniel Madrano with a good offensive as well, to be brutally... I mean, like I say, nothing against Jace right there. That was a great attack from Daniel Madrano, and he made it happen. Although I do think Jace could have covered that off and held that position, at least for a few more corners. But then you're losing time to the drivers behind. You know, it's a double-edged sword. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Devin Anthony, he is going to continue. Looking at stop times, still haven't seen anyone else stop. Actually, Marco Saldana is in. No surprise there after that tap of the wall. And Devin Anthony is in. No surprise there either. So the expected drivers to come in minus Fikri, basically. Actually, Fikri is pretty much our only exception. The earliest pit stop didn't opt for tires. It's not surprising. Going to be running on that 60. I mean, they're going to be running to the end on their tires all the way through the 60 minutes. I think that should be very doable, even on a high abrasive circuit like Circuit of the Americas. The GT tires, they're nothing like Formula 1 tires for anybody that is maybe just tuning in for the first time in GT racing, or maybe newer to it in general. These tires are much more like your road car tires, where they have little... I mean, they're slicks. They are slicks. But they are much, much more durable than the Formula 1 tires, which are meant to degrade over time. And so these can last about 2 hours. You could probably get... You could go 2 hours pretty comfortably on a set of tires at Circuit of the Americas. After that, you might be warranting a blowout. I know watching the Road to the Grand Finals, shooting or touching back, of course, I'm the lead commentator for Trackalicious, in case anyone is curious. I don't have the links. I'll put together some links here for Trackalicious. But when we were doing the Road to the Grand Finals, which was a 6-hour endurance series, we had 4 limited tire sets throughout the entire race, and that made for some interesting strategy calls on the more abrasive tracks. And at, what was it, Nürburgring, we had multiple blowouts. I think we had 3 blowouts due to the drivers opting for a double stint a little bit too long on their tires. Jace Wright's hot into the pits. I hope he got that stopped in time. I think he did. Nonetheless, Daniel Madrano takes the podium for now. We'll see if he takes it in general. I'm very curious if any other drivers go for tires. I do not think it is the right strategy. Though, I'm not a strategist, so I could very well be wrong. I just would be surprised if I was. That's all. Chat, I'm not sure if you guys have any input on what you think strategy is going to be tonight. Or even maybe some insider information. That could be as well. Let's see. Did I pull together the right link? I did. But as we have it, Daniel Madrano, as I said, in third position currently, but 3 seconds behind Santiago Venegas. This could turn into a 3-way battle once again for the podium at the end. Here we have some well, actually, Jace Wright returning back onto track ahead here on fresh rubber. Jace Wright opting for new tires. That is very surprising. We'll see what the leaders choose to do here. Maybe this is the right strategy. I just don't see how 15 extra seconds in the pit lane is going to benefit you. But once again, I could be completely wrong. As 35 seconds compared 34 to 17. 17, Rockefeller Racing. Rocky did not take tires. He is out of the pits, and he is ahead on track of Jace Wright. So Jace Wright does have to actually pass Rocky. I think this is a poor strategy call from Jace Wright. I'm just going to call it early here. I could be completely wrong, and I really do hope I am. Okay, and now, for anybody that is curious, once again, I am Mike Nause, for anyone wondering who I am in the booth. I'm Mike Nause, commentating here tonight at the SFRGT Challenge, Round 4 here at Circuit of the Americas. I'm from Trackalicious, the lead commentator over there. You can find me pretty much most days of the week. There are both links, the Discord and the... Wait, did it send both? It didn't send both. Okay, that's fine. The Discord and the we're a little slow Twitch link that didn't work for some reason. Oh, because I don't have the HTTPS. Okay, come on. Hashtag bad streamer. This should work. Can I delete that? Yes. There. That is where you can find me. I'm very professional, as you can tell, so obviously go check me out. Venegas! Santiago Venegas has been disqualified. My. What? Did he pick up a penalty with a penalty? Somebody is going to need to get an update on that one. Santiago Venegas, one of our podium sitters, has been disqualified. I have no words. And I'm sure he doesn't either. That is so unfortunate. Man, that's such a terrible way to go out. Well, the Colombian driver, unfortunately, not going to be making the checkered flag here tonight. Disqualification, as I'm assuming why he got disqualified, is he must have picked up a penalty when he already had a penalty. So he must have had a drive-through and picked up a speeding in the pits, which resulted in the stop-go, or something along those lines. I mean, he 2 penalties stacking up would do that. Jay Davis, he does come in here in the Nameless Racing, and we saw his, I think, teammate go by. Yes, 2 Nameless Racings side by side on track momentarily. Vinicius Doozy is out of the pits and in the podium position still. That's incredible. He's battling with Todd Tillery. Todd here, not gonna mess with it. Gets quickly out of the way and says, yes, I'm aware. I see the 1 next to my name and the 0 next to yours. The drivers, though, need to come in this lap, actually. As any driver at this point that would take another venture around... Actually, no, you can go 1 more lap. You can go 1 more lap. But you have to come in after that, because there's a 20-minute pit window where you're only allowed to pit after, basically in between 20 and 40 minutes, you're allowed to make a pit stop. Now 16 laps completed. We're approaching the 17th here. Daniel Madrano, our current race leader, is in the pits. But Vinicius Duzzi, I think he is about to take his rightful position back. The SOT Ferrari. Let's take a look at this. Oh, let's wait to take a look at it, actually, because we're about to climb a massive hill. So we'll do it when we flatten out. As the camera gets awfully wonky when you go for elevation changed livery deep dives. So we'll wait for him to get through the S's. Keep an eye here on Anthony Camacho, who's gained up onto Alex Ishii. Alex just coming into the turn 15. In the Kelly Moss with Riley Porsche 992. Todd Tillery, where will he come out? He is in the pits. Jace Wright is out in third with 2 seconds to Daniel Madrano. Daniel Madrano also took tires. Vinicius Duzzi also took tires, but like, whatever. He's in a different planet right now. So Rocky, Todd Tillery, Jay Davis, these drivers are on the same strategy that I would be on. They're the only 3 that didn't take tires. Stop go 30 picked up for Tillery. Well, that's not going to work out. And Daniel Madrano with a stop go 30 as well. These podium positions are not decided by any stretch of the imaginations. Even with Vinicius Duzzi on pole, he will still lose enough time to lose the lead of this race if he has a drive-through penalty. That can be picked up, of course, from getting 4 warnings from exploring the track limits. Stop go 30s, though, those are speeding in the pit lane. So Danny Madrano, once again, practice your pit entries, everybody. You got to practice your pit entries. And Anthony Camacho here in 8th. Once again, pushing those limits. We literally just saw a track cut right there in front of our eyes. So, got to keep an eye on those, does Anthony Camacho. As well, though, Alex Ishii exploring it as well. Okay. Todd misses the pit entry. Todd! You gotta practice your pit entries, brother. Not just you, everybody. Everybody. The pit window is now closed. That does not mean that he is not able to serve his penalties. Any penalties will still be able to be served without repercussion. I'm seeing a lot of red times on the boards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Over half of the drivers are currently on invalid laps. Now, an invalid lap doesn't necessarily mean that you have gone and gotten a warning, but on CODA, it's pretty likely. Circuit of the Americas, very, very rude with track limits. Daniel Madrano does come in. Let's hope he managed to keep it under the speed limit. And Daniel Madrano is back out with another stop go 30. Wait, he did a drive-through, didn't he? He didn't stop, I don't think. Or did he speed in the pits? Regardless, Daniel Madrano has... his race is over. Unfortunate. You hate to see it, but it's just the sad truth of the situation. Definitely going to be looking forward to Valencia next week. Nice send. Anthony Macho Man Camacho proving why he has earned that name, but he doesn't get the overtake. All right, I take back what I said. Come on, Anthony. You got to prove why you earned that name. He's going to go for it. Tucks to the inside. It's not being covered off. Alex doesn't seem to be fighting this too hard, but he goes late onto the brakes. Will stick with it. It's going to turn into favor for his corner if he does stick ahead long enough, but no, Anthony Camacho is the macho man at the end of the day and gets it done. Todd Tillery in the pit successfully this time. See there, Alex Ishii. He's coming back onto Anthony. Anthony is wide and onto the marbles as well. That's going to hinder his exit into the triple apex. So these two, with a good little bout on their hands, they're both on fresh tires, so this will be good till the end. And are we going to see Rocky Rocco from Rockefeller Racing finish on the podium tonight? We very well may. The number 647 went for no tire change in his strategy. Will that hinder him later? Absolutely. Will it hinder him enough, though, to lose the position to Joey Raymer, who's 3 seconds behind? Probably, to be completely honest. I think Joey Raymer, with the new tires, should have the pace to get the overtake onto Rocky Rocco. However, he was battling with Alex Ishii at one point in time. Alex Ishii is 41 seconds behind Joey Raymer. So, the pit strategy looking strong from Rocky tonight, I gotta say. We'll see, though. The tires may fall off a cliff as right there. That's a perfect example of what happens. Your tires, they start heating up and they start cooling down, especially at COTA. There's a big, long straight that can make those tires cool down your brakes as well, which causes blistering and graining. At least, well, it causes blistering, and blistering turns... No, it causes graining. Graining turns into blistering. And hopefully, of course, this track very abrasive as well, so going to be wearing those slicks down. Got to keep an eye, though, on this Anthony Camacho, Alex Ishii battle. Anthony Camacho has him lined up. Does he pull the trigger? He has pulled the trigger, and he hits the target. Nicely done. Anthony Macho Man Camacho does it in the same exact spot he did last time around. Ooh, a bit deep goes the Porsche of Alex Ishii. Really trying to fight that back hard. Can hop on board with the 992. Yeah, the 992. Have I called it? Regardless. Won't pay any mind to that. Okay. Well, there is the position back for Alex Ishii. Alex gets a nice view of Anthony yeeting himself off into the stratosphere. Nicely done. Not from Anthony, from Alex. Daniel Madrano in P last, serving as stop-go 30. His third trundle down the pit lane. Definitely a race to forget tonight for Daniel. He'll be looking up for Valencia, no doubt. As in terms of the GT3 standings, let's see where... Oh, hang on. Oh, that's not... Wait, hold on. Is this for position? Yeah, this is Marco Saldana and Todd Tillery. Oh my goodness, did Daniel pick up another stop-go 30? No, he's not out of the pits yet. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, there's 30-second stationary. He is now free to go. Oof. You can see, though, Marco looking fairly comfortable behind Todd Tillery, actually. That's our race leader behind him. Vinicius on another planet. I think that's an understatement. And Marco moves out of the way nicely there to allow our leader to come by. Daniel Madrano is still in the pits. Is he done? I think he's done. I don't blame him. As much as I'm normally the guy that's like, you got to get back out on track, you know, you got to finish the race. I still think that. I still think Daniel should get out there and finish the race. 100%. But I also understand if he doesn't, because I would not want to finish this race if I was Daniel. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't do it, though. Like I still think that you finish the race. Experience is experience. And that's always something to be gained from. And your losses, I mean, you know, you can take those. Sometimes you can learn more from a loss than a win. So, and by sometimes, I mean pretty much always. Joey Raymer trying to use the grip that he has, the advantage over Rocky Rocco. Rocky Rocco currently on 48-minute-old tires compared to the 14-minute-old tires of Joey. Oh! A little too much grip for Joey, as he gets a nice little grip of carbon fiber as well. Giving Rocky Rocco the hurry up. And Joey here, he needs to calm down. I know that sounds rude, but he is overdriving this car right now, and it's very obvious to see. He was doing really well before he caught up to Rocky. And now that he has Rocky in front of him, I think he's kind of... He sees the podium. I mean, he sees it, and he wants it. But you got to keep a calm head. You can't let it get to you, and you can't just push your car to the next level, because that grip advantage that he has, one spin, not only is that time that he has right up to his bumper gone, all of the grip on those tires, or all the grip advantage, is gone as well. So Joey needs to be very careful. He has 10 minutes and 40 seconds to overtake Rocky Rocco. Rocky's tires are not getting any better. They're only getting worse. Joey's tires are at a very good window right now. They have a long time before they start actually getting much worse, barring any overdriving, barring any overheating, assuming all the pressures are right. And here we go. We see a look. A bit too far back, though, once again. And late on the brakes as a result. So we're going to see... Oh, early on the brakes, actually, for Rocky. Rocky broke way early there. That's what I saw. Joey has this. There's no question, is what I'm getting at with everything that I'm saying here. I'm not trying to talk negatively towards Joey. He's doing an excellent job. He's going to be on the podium, I think, almost certainly. I don't think Rocky has any chance of holding on to this, barring a miracle. Rocky, I love you, brother, but it's, like I say, not going to happen here. But he's putting on a fight. If anyone's going to make it happen, Rocky's going to do it. A man that has a lot of fight behind the wheel of that prancing horse. He doesn't want to give it to the McLaren. Look at that, slamming the door shut, not giving much of any room up the inside. In fact, if he does want it, it'd be a terrible idea. But does that compromise the run as Joey tucks to the racing line, is going to carry the speed? And Rocco's round, and they have contact. Rocco feeling bad, yielding. That, though, is a result of that move right there onto the dirty line, picking up those marbles into the tires, and then coming through the first corner. You can see just way too hot, dirty tires. Wasn't going to happen. Just a recipe for failure there from Rocky, unfortunately, and he does end up making an error, and he actually didn't give the position back to Joey Raymer. Interesting. Fair enough. It's not required by any stretch of the imagination to. Nor will Joey or Rocky, I think, be receiving a penalty for that incident. Just a racing incident is what I would call that from Rocky Rocco. Unfortunate. Unforced as well. Forced by himself, really. Joey is going to get it done here. Rocky, a little bit deep off the track. The lack of grip finally gets the best of him. Gotta say, though, Rocky, what a drive. I love your strategy. I don't think it would have mattered. I think you still would have ended up P4. However, I think this was the right strategy. Going for no tire change. Joey was ahead before the pit lane anyways. So Rocky never had a chance to defend that podium position if he didn't go for that strategy. So credit where credit's due. Good on Rocky for trying there. He is going to more than likely finish in P4, barring any blowouts, which he definitely should not have, or spins, which hopefully he won't have. He's going to just be looking to keep that gap as tight as he can to Joey, barring any incidents from Joey. Joey could always make a mistake. That's the thing. So Rocco going to keep it a window for him to capitalize on that. But other than that, I think we will be seeing our P1, 2, 3, and 4 remain the same for the next 6 minutes and 44 seconds. Now behind them, that is a different story. As Anthony Macho Man Camacho, very eager, as you can see, too eager through the final corner. Ends up taking a bit too much curb and compromising his exit onto the start-finish straight on the run to Big Red. I never took a look at liveries, did I? Let me take a look at some liveries in a minute. As Anthony is way too deep, and that's going to cost him a good couple seconds. Let's take a look. Oh, he's on the start-finish straight. All right, we'll take a look at the Rockefeller Racing livery as he's on the back straight where there is not much elevation change. An amazing livery. I love the Rockefeller Racing livery. In fact, why don't we get a little bit of a blank HUD here? Give it. Oh, come on. Come on, game. There we go. You can see the 647 Rockefeller Racing, the Rockefeller Racing by Rocky Rocco. Great sim grid. And the FU Cancer, as well as the other support. You love to see it. Hashtag stay strong. Just all in all, livery with a great message behind it. And as well as a great guy behind the wheel. I gotta say, Rocky Rocco, incredible man, just awesome guy. Runs the leagues over at Rockefeller Racing as well as, I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but I think he runs the leagues, at least a league over here. I could be wrong though. Is at least a manager here at SFRGT Challenge. I'll leave it at that. That is a true statement. Vinicius here, who is now on the back straight. Let's take a look at this livery. The SOT, Spirit Onyx team. The Brazilians, piloted by Vinicius Duzzi, the 12-year-old driver, leading this race by 59 seconds. And as I said before, it is not just speed that Vinicius shows. It is racecraft, it's talent, it's patience, and all in all, Vinicius, like I said before, has a great career ahead of him, presumably in real racing, to be completely honest. At the very least sim, but get this man, if he isn't already behind the wheel of some racing devices, although his picture is a go-kart on Discord, so I'm pretty sure he at least does karting. I know we have some Doozy family members in chat. I don't know if you guys want to, if you guys feel comfortable sharing some information about what Doozy does. I'd love to know, because just where does talent come from at this early of an age is what I'm curious, you know. Not many 12-year-old sim racing drivers out there, and not many 12-year-old sim racing drivers winning races with very talented grids. Do both. Oh, man. This is not a great race for the Rockefeller Racing team as a whole. Rocky, he's having a great night up in P4. Everybody else in the Rockefeller Racing team, not so much. Jelson Cruz going to be in P7, the closest one to having a good day. Well, Joey Raymer here on a good fight for the championship podium positions. 1 point away from Jace Wright currently. That will change, though, at the end of this race. Let's see, actually. How... the points are going to be confusing in this league, aren't they? Let's take a look. We'll look together, chat. They're not that confusing, actually. All right, cool. So 6 points difference between P1 and P2. 4 points. No, 5 points is the difference between P2 and P3. 4 points, 3 points, 2 points, etc. Down to 2 points. I think 2 points is going to be the interval after that. 3 is. Never mind. So 5 points separating the two currently. Jace Wright, already leading the championship, will have a 6-point lead as of the checkered flag. Daniel Madrano picks up a stop-go 30 after a drive-through. Wait, no, Patrick Dubois had the... Excuse me. Daniel Madrano's been retired from this race for a fat minute. My apologies. I just saw the name. We'll go back to the relative times. Anthony Camacho on a great run here. That Porsche had a very compromised run through the S's, and as a result, Anthony able to close the gap up, almost too much so. A Porsche very early on the brakes, or Anthony just more confident. A look. An ascend from the 14. Both drivers fully... Oh no, Anthony had a moment on exit. So close. I thought he had it done. I was about to say that Anthony had that position done and that was a textbook overtake, but no. Not yet. Alex Ishii. Will he fall victim into the 14th corner? Might have been a little bit of contact there. Definitely fair racing, though, from both drivers. And Anthony Camacho is ahead. Let's hope he can stay on track and not lose the position due to his own merit here. Oh, no. Why did I say anything? Okay, he keeps it. Oh, I thought I just cursed him, but that's okay. We didn't. Look at that. An anti-commentator curse. Alex Ishii coming around the final corner to complete lap 27. And now on to their final lap as Doozy is going to come across the line for the win. I didn't realize that. My apologies. The race is over. Vinicius Doozy comes across the line for the race win tonight. Lovely, lovely driving from the 12-year-old. Hats off, everybody. A round of applause. Nice donut. Incredible. Jace Wright has a little bit to go. In fact, a lot of it to go. There's some drivers, though, to the line. Marco Saldana is going to come across for 9th position and 10th for Todd Tillery. Up next will be Michael Gravelle in 11th. He's coming through the Triple Apex right now. We have Diane Doozy. It's Diane. What did I try to say earlier? That was so not right. I apologize on any mispronunciation names. Once again, thank you. Appreciate it. And I appreciate you for tuning in. Everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in, hitting the like button on the stream, hitting that subscribe button, and enjoying the racing here at SFRGT Challenge. Devin Anthony to the line with Jace Wright behind for P2 and Joey Raymer for 3rd. What a finish from Doozy, though. 71 seconds in a 1-hour race. That is not normal. Alex Ishii picks up a drive-through penalty on the final lap. You hate to see it. That's going to turn into a 30-second time penalty at the end of the race. Behind him, that will lose the position to Jelson, as well as Jay Davis. Should put him in 8th. Unfortunate. Doozy on his parade lap. Nicely done. I am stunned, honestly. I genuinely am stunned. Alex Ishii into the pits when some drivers are just coming across the line as well. But what a race it's been. Thank you once again, one and all, for tuning in to the SFRGT Challenge stream. If you guys do want to partake in this league, of course, $100 is on the line, as well as 3 to the top 3, a full top-notch setup bundle from Coach Dave, provided by them. Thank you very much to Coach Dave for providing that, and thank you very much to SimGrid for hosting us as well. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. You guys are awesome. Appreciate every single one of you. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream and are going to be around here next week for Valencia. If you guys aren't signed up in that race, make sure you do. And if not, make sure you guys put it on your calendar to be tuned in. Everything that you want is going to be in the description of the stream for links to everything: Twitter, Facebook, SimGrid, all of the above. I've been Mike Nause, Vinicius Doozy, with a win here tonight. And what a drive it's been. Jace Wright in 2nd, Joey Raymer in 3rd. We are going to close the stream out, though, tonight. Thank you very much, one and all, for watching. It has been a lovely stream. We are, of course, going to be back next week. As I said, I'm Mike Nause. I hope you guys all have a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. Thank you, and good night.